Can't Bring Me Down, Suicidal Tendencies. I was in high school. They approached me after approaching my older brother. He asked me to, go over the music and check it out. And I did. And I was like, it's kind of like the rest is history. I was in, joined the band. And all throughout high school, through my 20s, I was in Suicidal Tendencies. I'll just be on a tour bus somewhere, Yeah, man, Flying Lotus. I think it was the first time Flying Lotus featured, me or anybody for that on the album. I think Tom York was also featured on the same album with a couple more people. That was the first time I feel like as an artist people would know my name, I think the most important things I learned from Flying Lotus is being honest in the music. It's a very difficult thing for people sometimes, I think, because, there's this idea that you want to be a pop star, you want to be all these different things, but the truth is just be who you are. That's good enough, and I think that's something that Flying Lotus taught me. Yeah, Walk On By with Kendrick. One of the greater experiences in my life. The dude taught me a lot. It's great when you get to see somebody that's of that caliber, lend themselves to music and go with it, That song for me was a really special moment on the album because I feel like there's a bit of a story to it. And with Kendrick, I feel like it became a story. When I heard his verse to it, it was like two people having a conversation. And I was just like, that's perfect. Yeah, man. I love that song, man. That's one of my favorite ones that I never get to talk about. I love Donald Glover, man. That guy's got a beautiful heart. That song, originally had written that with Red Hot Chili Peppers in mind. And I remember I played it for Flea and he was like, no. He was like, no. We write our own music. I loved that song so much, as I was creating the music for it. I even started to try to write lyrics to it and stuff. But I would send Donald music every day. Anytime I would start creating music, I just send it to him. He felt the energy behind that song, and he chose that one to finish and do. And I'm happy he didn't take my vocals off. He kept my vocals on there. Nobody move, there's blood on the floor. Oh man, the story behind this song is a very bitter breakup. Everybody's been there. If you haven't been there, hopefully you don't wind up there. But love and love lost is a real thing,
And how was your collaboration with Kamasi?
I've known Kamasi since we were babies. I vaguely remember him because I don't remember being a baby. But he was there. He's always showing me something new. We have a record store in Los Angeles called Amoeba Records. Kamasi was there every day, spending all of his gig money buying music. Have you heard this? Check this out. It was so important to have a friend like that growing up to keep me focused. He'd always bring me in and remind me nah man, music. He cares so much about the music, and it's a very rare thing. And he can play his ass off. That's always, It's that's the thing, he can play. As I sit, and I stare into the clouds. Yeah, the turn down. Pharrell, one of the bigger inspirations, in my musical life. Very, forward-thinking dude. For me, as a teenager hearing Nerd, it was like a breath of fresh air. It made me feel like it was okay to be a musician again, It actually all started from me playing bass on a couple of the Nerd songs on the new album. And he called me to play bass. I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my gosh, Pharrell really wants me to. And I played bass on the tunes. And I just kind of said to Pharrell, I said, I really don't want to get paid for the session. I really want to get a chance to write with you. It's kind of it kind of made things a bit awkward. It's the thing that Flying Lotus taught me, the honesty. Say it, because if you don't, it's just you didn't say it and you missed it. I feel from there, it was a few months before I would hear back from him. But when I heard back from him, he had done this. And it was just I kind of got all teary-eyed. And, it was kind of I was just happy that he liked my music. Oh my God. George Clinton, man. I'm happy he's still here to be able to tell him thank you. It's like he's still here and he's still making that music, you know. I feel like he's seen it all. You know, he's seen the $1 million, seen, you know, the ups and downs of how, you know, friendships and things change. Working with George Clinton, he's just great. If you were to ever to meet somebody of that age, that, you know, he's like kicking most people I know my ages, but like musically, you know, his mind is clear. At the drop of a hat, he can rhyme, he can tell you a story, he can sing. He's George Clinton, you know.
I think I'm Ichiro, I think that I'm Goku. Can I just stay one more day?
Man, I love Dragon Ball Z, man. It's one of the greatest stories ever, man. Like, it helped me grow in a very interesting way. I felt like Goku's, you know, you could see him struggle as a boy, you know, and then as a man, he just struggles too. You know, he's still kind of like a boy. Feels very similar to just regular life, you know, and I think that's why it is such a big deal for people, because you see yourself in Goku, the want to overcome, the want to do better, you know. His processing of like women, you know, his processing of like, you know, how he eats, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, that's me. You're like, that's pretty close.